Hello, everybody. This is your boy Ken, aka Mr. Gentleman, and I am the host of Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast. If you are enjoying this show, you can also check out the Premiere Boys Podcast, hosted by myself, Aaron Keetook Sands, the Star Rider Rod, and Long Live Chief Mighty Mal, where we discuss everything that's going on in the culture, from love, relationships, music, sex, politics, and many more. We can make you laugh, but the show could get a little raunchy, and it may not be for everybody. But if you are curious to listen to the Premier Way podcast, you can tune in to the Premier Way podcast every Wednesdays at 12 a.m. or all podcast platforms, a part of the Premier Powerverse Network. Other shows that you can check out on the Premier Powerverse Network is King Talk with Aaron Sands, hosted by Aaron King Talk Sands every Friday at 12 p.m. Star Time Podcast hosted by the Star Rider Rod every Monday at 12 p.m. And Welcome to the Trilogy hosted by Long Live the Chief Mighty Mal every Tuesday at 12 p.m. Listen and support every show in the Premier Powerverse, including this show, Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast, who is also a part of the Premier Powerverse Network. Thank you for listening to this message and check out the show. Chill! You are now listening to Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast Season 10. Chill! Hello, everybody. This is your boy Ken, aka Mr. Gentleman, one-fourth of the Premier Boys Podcast, and your host of Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast. Welcome to another new episode of Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast. Hope all is well. And also, we have a special guest. She is a hip-hop artist. She have a project called Still Collecting Data, and we're going to talk to her about her music journey, everything she's been through, and her music, because she brought 2 songs off that project. And I can't wait for y'all to check out this episode. And y'all already know what to do. Sit back, relax, and I'll be right back.
Yo, what's going on? It's your boy Mook Dallas, and you are now listening to the Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. And at this time, it's time for Mr. Gentleman Facts quote of the day. And today's quote of the day is, never let somebody tell you that your dream is so small. And I say this because don't listen to what anybody tell you. If that dream is something that you really want to do all that you can to get it done. And if somebody tell you that your dream is so small, it only means that they wish they could do what you do. So no matter what, don't let anybody negative reaction try to bring you down. And just keep going for what you love to do. And that is today with the Gentleman Facts quote of the day. Hello, everybody. This is your boy Ken, aka Mr. Gentleman, and I am the host of Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast. And this commercial break is brought to you by Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast. On Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast, we interview many guests about their life journey, pretty much where they come from and where they at now. Also promoting their brands or whatever they're doing at the time they come on the show. We also have the host talk about personal stories about himself and everything that he's been through. And also we have fun conversation about anything music, anything old school, relationships, wrestling, and many more. And y'all can tune in to Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast every Sundays at 12 a.m. We are also on every Thursdays at 12 a.m. for Spin-Up Series Thursdays, where we have all of Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast Spin-Off Series all in one Day, where we have a conversation about music podcast every first Thursday at 12 a.m. The Old School Show with myself and the Star Riding Rod every fourth Thursday at 12 a.m. And we have Date Night Talk podcast with myself and Miss Vanna B every second and third Thursdays at 12 a.m. And y'all can tune in to Mr. Gentleman Like That podcast on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, The Pods, and many more. Or y'all can check it out on the official website of Mr. Gentleman Like That podcast, www.realmrgentlemanlikethatpodcast.com, www.realmrgentlemanlikethatpodcast.com, and tune in every Sundays and Thursdays at 12 a.m. for Mr. Gentleman Like That podcast. Thank y'all for tuning in to this commercial break of Mr. Gentleman Like That podcast. Back to your regularly scheduled program. Cheer!
Hey y'all, what's going on? This is Octavia the Great, and you are now listening to Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. And at this time, it's time for my special guest. I have a music artist in the building. She's a hip hop artist, and she got an album called Still Collecting Data. And we're gonna play 2 songs off that project today. We got Octavia the Great in the building. Octavia, how are you doing?
I'm doing so wonderful. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, and thank you for coming on the show. First thing first, we're gonna start with, where are you from?
I'm originally from Portsmouth, Virginia.
Okay, nice. So I'm gonna give you some icebreaker questions, and so my audience can know you a little bit better. So the first thing I'm gonna ask you is, how would you describe yourself with 3 words?
3 words to describe me. I am authentic. I flow, and I'm present.
Okay, nice. Those are good choices. Those are good choices. What is one thing you like to do for fun?
I like to walk in the grass with my shoes off. That's very fun for me. Learning things, yeah.
No, that does sound relaxing. I'm not gonna lie. That does sound relaxing. I'm not gonna lie. That's dope. That's dope. And what is in your headphones right now? It could be an album, a song, or even a podcast. What are you listening to right now?
Man, I've been on a Tracy Chapman kind of mix run. So like music around that era, like Fast Car, Hand in My Pocket, Kiss from a Rose. Like that might not be what it's called, but like that kind of music from like, what is that, like the 80s or not? I think it's like 80s, like soft rock has been like my thing.
Nah, that's dope. That's dope, man. I like that type. I like the 80s too, so I'm a big fan of the 80s. And yeah, you got the song right, Kiss by a Rose by Sil. Yeah, you got that right. You got that right. Yeah, that's a dope song. That's a dope song. So now let's talk about your beginning of life. So how was you growing up?
Super quiet, super reserved. I like to write a lot. I like to write music. I like to write stories and biographies and anything that I could do that was like creative. You know, I like to create my own world.
Nice. So how old has you been through made you the person that you are today?
I think just my willingness to perceive it in that way. You know, you gotta perceive it that way, or else they're just experiences that are kind of in vain. But if you could take all of it and say it was all for my good, then that's when it can create, you know, the version of yourself that you are today. So I just been able to see it as all happening for my good.
That's a good answer. So let's talk about the music. Let's talk about your album. Let's talk about the music itself. So what inspired you to get into music? And what made you want to go that route?
I used to write as a kid. I like to write poems. And so it just kind of naturally like transitioned into like rap and songs, and you know, I like to listen to a lot of storytelling music and artists. And eventually I just wanted to try it out for myself to see if I could be good at it.
Nice. And like I said, I heard your music, and you're pretty dope. I'm not gonna lie, you are pretty dope. I like your
Thank you.
style. But
Thank you.
to dive in more into your style, like how would you describe your style of music? Like how would you describe yourself as an artist?
I think very experimental. I think I try different things just to see how it would work. I'll pretty much dabble in anything. I also like, I like to learn instruments and figure out how they work. So I think I'm just like a muse, just painting, not worrying about what matches or what colors go together and if anything makes sense. I just try to keep experimenting.
Nice. I got a random question. Now that you mentioned instruments, like what type of instruments do you do, or what's your favorite instrument you like playing? I should say.
So right now I've been learning the keyboard, electric and acoustic guitar. I
Mm.
think as far as like sound and feel, I really love the electric guitar, but the keyboard is coming to me more naturally.
Oh, no, that's really dope. That's really dope. That's really dope. So tell us about your project, Still Collecting Data. Tell us what inspired you to do that project, and what's your favorite song working on that project?
I didn't imagine I was gonna do projects and it's like a series that the new one is number two. The first one is Still Collecting Data, number one. I really didn't imagine that I was going to do a project that title, but the voice note that I have on the first project, which is a friend of mine, you hear her throughout both of those projects as a voice note. And there was something that she said. It was like when we go through life and we don't really know like what to do, and we make decisions, and we can't really consider them right or wrong. It's just we're just collecting data. So the idea of collecting data, and also one of my favorite authors and people, Ty Basin, who managed Brent Fayez.
Mm.
I read his book, and he said that the gold is in the data. Artists don't know how to make money from their music because they don't understand their data. And so that word and that energy of being able to like collect data and then go back, look at it, analyze, test, generate. Now we're in an MIT course, and it's like that's really life. It's you develop something, you test it, and then you generate and then you keep doing that over and over again. It's never supposed to be like, oh, I made a mistake or I messed up or I failed. It's supposed to be I collected data. I tested something to see what would come of it. I got my results. If my results are desirable or less than desirable, then I go from there. It's really simple. It's not like we're not supposed to be taking that as character attacks on our personal being when we don't, when we don't get desirable results.
Thank you for sharing that project. And also, I did heard your project, and it's really fire. I really enjoyed the project.
Thank you. Thank you. You asked about my favorite song. I really feel like my favorite song is the song called Family Ish.
Mm.
Mostly because that song is 4 years old. It took me 4 years old to feel vulnerable enough to put that out.
Oh, dope. I ain't gonna lie, I enjoy that song too. So that's one of my favorite songs off the album. Also, I'm gonna say a few of my songs that I like off the album. I like Getting Paid. I also like Why Would I Hear to You? Why would I listen to you? And you dope. Like I said, you dope. And I think everybody should listen to your project. So once again, thank you for sharing your project.
Oh,
And
thank you so much.
and if anybody want to hear the album, where would they listen to the album?
So right now it's only available on my website at www.airwavesent.com. But the easiest way is, you go to my Instagram, Octavia the Great 888, and click the link in my bio. It'll take you straight to it.
Okay, nice. And also at the end of the show, we're gonna play one of your songs off the project, Family Ish too, by the way. So
Okay.
so stay to the end of the show for that. So what is the goal for your music, and what you want your audience to get out of your music?
I want people to like experience my healing journey in real time. And if they're on a similar journey, I want them to be inspired by it and, feel safe enough to heal. It's, the body don't really need as much as we think. We think the body need medication. We think the body needs a healthy diet, and all those things are true to a certain extent. But really what the body needs to heal is safety. And a lot of us don't feel safe enough to heal and let alone to heal out loud in front of people. And so I hope to bring that to the table to show people that you can heal out loud. You could be in the middle of going through like the worst type shit and still like look at yourself and say, okay, I love and I accept myself right here as I am. Nothing needs to change for me to accept who I am. That's who I am. That's what I hope to offer to the world.
Nice. And I appreciate you definitely giving that message. So thank you for that. Thank you for that. So one thing you also have, you have a label called Airway Entertainment. Tell us about the label and tell us why owning your masters is important.
Yeah, man, your masters that's how you get paid. That's the way that you monetize. It's like, okay, so you got a label that handles like, most artists are already operating as labels and they just haven't structured it. And because they haven't structured it, they don't know how to access the funding or how to scale their label. They're already doing their own videography, their own content, their own mixing, mastering, recording, making their own beats. You are operating as an entire label. The only thing that's missing is you haven't structured it. And I recommend a corporation just because LLC is technically not actually separate from you, but that's a completely different conversation. But if you would structure your music business like an actual business, you will understand why it actually matters and how much leverage you can create for yourself. So now I don't need to go to somebody to ask for something. I already created the leverage for myself to be able to access it.
And that's dope. That's dope. And I feel like a lot of artists should own their masters. So I agree with you. You going that route. So that's really dope. So I agree. And if you have to work with any artist, any dream artist, who would you like to work with? Name 3 artists. It could be a mainstream or it could be an indie artist. Who would your dream artist to work with?
I love Childish Gambino. I think he's so creative. I love Anderson .Paak and Alicia Keys, just because I'm so inspired by her like persona and the way that she expresses herself in her art. So those would be my 3 right off the top of my head that I would choose.
No, I'm not gonna lie. Those are some good picks. All of them is unique in their own way. All this is my favorite artist I listen to too. So those are really good picks. Those are really good picks. So how do you feel about the current music scene compared to the old school music scene?
As far as the music scene, of course, the sound has changed, but some things haven't changed. Artists still aren't taking the time to educate themselves before they sign deals. That's old, and that's still happening today. We got more artists, coming out as independent, but still don't really fully understand how to leverage the music that they create and how to exploit masters and publishing. So a lot of things haven't changed, but of course, over time, sounds, listening to like this Tracy Chapman playlist is like I'm discovering all the songs that was sampled. Like I didn't know Cool Like That was sampled by another art, and I'm just like I didn't even know. Like I'm finding the original versions of these songs that I didn't even know were sampled, which is very cool for me. But I think people are getting back to appreciating like just the grassroots of hip hop and of music, and I'm appreciating that. But I also think we need to integrate that into the things and the lessons that we have learned, like being business owners. Like it's okay to go outside and you got mixtapes in your backpack and you grassrooting and you bootstrapping. But let's not forget that we can still create corporations, get EINs, get bank accounts, set up a DUNS number. Like let's not forget we can build business credit with a music business or a media company, because if you create your own content, you are a media company. You just ain't structured it as a media company. Yeah, so now you got two companies that can be each other. Anyway, I don't want to get too far off topic, but I'm like diving into understanding how this can actually work as a business that can fund itself and not just something that's fun to do.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And I agree with you. I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. But let's switch the topic a little bit. And one thing that I do talk about on my show a lot is I talk about mental health. So I want to let you know. I want to tell you like why is mental health important, and what challenges have you been dealing with mental health?
Let me see. Mental health is, I'll say, how can I put it? Of course, we know it's important, but it's it's important for us to be honest about how we're feeling and not reject those feelings or try to suppress them and hide from ourselves. Mental health is, when people think about mental health, they think about anxiety, depression, but I think about what is it that you're hiding from yourself that's creating that anxiety. Let's peel this back another layer. Why do you feel like you don't want to get out of bed, or why are you depressed? What is it that you're afraid to face that as soon as you get up, it's about to attack your mind, your thoughts? So I think, mental health is it's like the surface, and we got to begin to peel those layers back and really understand what we're feeling by being honest with ourselves first about what we feel, so that we can begin to heal on a cellular level as opposed to just treating all the symptoms that we have throughout life or day to day.
Yeah. And thank you for sharing that. And mental health is very important. 'Cause I do deal with mental health. Like I said, anxiety, depression. But you're right though. Like be honest with yourself and figure out the reason why you dealing with that. So I agree with you 100%. I agree with you 100%. Thank you for sharing that. So let's switch gears a little bit. And what is your dream venture? Something that you always want to do that you never got a chance to do?
A kid's album. It's like right there at the tip of, it's like right there. It's just like, then I keep making my adult albums, and I don't understand yet how to integrate my kids' music with my adult music. And I don't want to create two separate brands right now because it's a lot of work. But I really want to do a kids' album.
That's not a bad idea. You should definitely do it. That's not a bad idea at all. You should definitely do it.
Yeah.
And what other project that you got going on that we had not spoke about yet?
So I'm still collecting data 3. I'm just about to start the production for that. So that's coming along with I did my first kids book, and I want to do another one. So it's like my ideas are coming faster than I can really execute. So I'm just I just got to keep executing.
Nice. And if they want to read the children book, where they can check that out?
That's also on my website, airwaysent.com. Yeah, so everything is on the same platform right now, but I think eventually it will need to be separate.
Nice. And when you come up with do Collecting Data Part 3, I'm gonna bring you back so we can talk more about that project and many more. So I'll definitely bring you back about that. Yeah, talk about that.
Awesome. Yes.
And what do you have to say for everybody gonna say about you? Like, you being an artist, you being an author, say something inspirational.
Breathe. That's pretty much the definition of inspiration. Breathe, be present, recognize the interconnectedness of all things, and just don't take this life shit too serious.
There you go. There you go. So before you go, we got a few things to do before you go. So before you go, we're going to play a segment game called 5 Random Topic. I will ask you 5 random topics, and you pretty much give me a short or a long response. I will join in on it with you as well. So are you ready?
Okay, yeah.
All right. So first question is, favorite album you heard recently?
Still collecting data too.
That's a good answer. Even though I do agree with you on that, because that's an album that I heard recently. Still collecting data. I'm also gonna say J. Cole new album. His album was really good.
Oh yeah, I really enjoyed that too. Yes, absolutely.
You know what? This is a random question, but what is your favorite J. Cole album? Like your top 3 favorite J. Cole album?
Probably I might mess this up, but what is it? Forest Hill. The one, probably like one of his first ones is one that I used to play as a kid, just on repeat. It's called, what is it called? Like Forest Hill Driver. I don't know. I'm not really that good remembering album titles, to be
Yeah,
honest.
yeah. I mean, no, you got the album right. You get a 24 on Forest Hill Drive. You got it right. You got it right. You got it right.
That, and I know for sure Exodus, Bob Marley album is like my top number one.
Okay, okay, that's a good pick. You know, since we on this topic, if I had to pick a favorite album, but J. Cole wise, of course, yeah, 24 Forest Hill is my favorite J. Cole. But if we talk about album in general, I'm gonna say, of course, I'm gonna say go with Michael, of course, Thriller, and of course, Thriller.
Oh yeah,
Michael, yeah, I gotta go with Michael on this one.
yeah.
I say his next question is, what's your favorite movie?
The Pursuit of Happiness.
Okay, that's a good pick. That is a good pick. That is a great movie. That is a great movie. I know for this question, I got a lot. I got a lot to pick from for this question, but I'm gonna say a Will Smith movie as well. I'm gonna say a Will Smith movie as well, and I'm gonna say Hitch from Will Smith.
Oh, okay. I love that. I immediately think about the Benadryl.
Yeah, true. That's one of my favorite scenes. All right, next question is favorite food.
I love me some garlic wings, man. I just had some garlic wings from Little Caesars. I feel like I slept on Little Caesars for some time now, but I had some garlic wings from there yesterday, and I try to go back and get some more today. And they didn't have any wings.
I ain't gonna lie, that sounds good right now. I'm not even gonna lie, that sounds real good right now. I'm not even gonna lie. For me, I mean, I like soul food, Caribbean food, Thai food. I mean, I'm a foodie anyway, so I eat a lot, but those three is my favorite. All right, number 4.
No.
Name an artist that you want to see a new album from.
An artist I want to see a new album from. I'm a very slowly say Erykah Badu. And I say slowly just because like she's given us so much. Like not that, you know, she hasn't given enough, but like I think I would really enjoy a new Erykah Badu album.
No, that would not be a bad idea. That would be fire actually. I mean, I'm gonna go on top of that, and I'm gonna say Outkast.
Okay.
I'm gonna say Outkast.
Oh, they'd have to collaborate. Yeah.
Because you know we haven't seen Outkast in a very long time. That would be fire. That would be fire. And the last question I got is, what is your dream versus?
You said my dream versus?
Yeah, dream versus.
You mean like two artists against each other versus?
Yeah.
You know what? It wouldn't even be a versus because of like the people that I'm about to choose. I feel like they got like a real mutual respect for each other. But KRS-One and Rakim.
I know KRS-One definitely did have a versus before, but
really?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, that was like the early days. But I don't think it was not with Rakim though. It was definitely with Big Daddy Kane. But that's not bad. But that's not a bad choice though. That's not a bad choice. And for me, even though they had a slight beef, well, not really a beef. And I've been wanting them to collaborate for a very long time. Hopefully they could now since things cool down. Kendrick and J. Cole. I want to see a verse with them. Kendrick and J. Cole.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
interesting.
Just out of mutual respect. You know, always want to see a collaboration with them too. It's sort of happened, but it didn't really happen. But yeah, I want to see a verse between J. Cole and Kendrick.
Okay.
All right, Octavia, before you go, we're about to play your songs. You know, we'll play your song. We're going to play 2 songs on the show. Family-ish and No Bra. Tell us about those 2 songs. Tell us about how it feels creating those songs.
Family-ish is about 4 years old. I have a 5-year-old daughter, and co-parenting was just a super struggle. It was like It was like somebody teasing you with an idea that was not, that you couldn't have. It was like, here's the family element, but no, you don't get to have it. So that song is very vulnerable, it's very personal, but I felt like it was necessary to go ahead and release it in this time because I had given myself so much time to like heal and release whatever resentment, whatever I had been, pinned up. It was just time for me to release it. So that's like my favorite song that I've ever written, just because of how personal and how vulnerable it is and how I allowed people into that space. And No Bra came to me on a day I'm pretty sure I had COVID. I had about 10 songs already, and none of them was about not wearing a bra. And then on one day I had COVID, and the song just kind of drifted into my awareness. That I wasn't a person that, it wasn't like I don't wear bras or anything. Like, it had nothing to do with me. It was just something that came into my awareness. And when I started singing the melody out, it made me smile. I was like, wow, that feels so good to say. So then the entire project ended up being called No Bra, just because it was such a good feeling and women really resonated with, that freedom and that expression that could just, it could apply to anybody. Even men love that song for their own reasons. But yeah, those are like my two favorite songs, actually.
And I like a lot. I did hear No Bra. That song's all over the net. So, but I go, that's a good song though. That's a good song though. Shit, that's a good song. Shout out to you for that. And we're gonna play those songs. We're gonna play the song at the end of Mr. Gentleman, like the podcast. But I just want to say, Octavia, thank you for coming to the show. It was a really dope conversation. Continue to do amazing things. Continue to put out dope music, and keep doing big things. I know big things coming for you. And thank you again for coming to the show.
All right. I thank you so much, Ken. I appreciate it.
Yes. And of course, before you go, drop your social media where everybody can reach you, and drop where they can listen to the album and everything that you do. This is your time.
Absolutely. So you can reach me at Octavia the Great 888, Octavia the Great 888. And that's on TikTok, that's on Instagram, that's on YouTube. And you can check out my album. I have some stuff on streaming platforms under Octavia the Great, but still collecting data too. Right now, we're still in a direct to consumer phase. So that's on my website, www.airwavesent.com.
Yeah, thank you. There you go. And also, when you listen to Still Collecting Data, please give her a tip. It's just support her, donate and support her. And thank you. We'll be right back.
All right.
Yeah. Go to work every day, doing right by his kids. Every moment we spent, feeling family-ish. Go to work every day, doing right by his kids. Every moment we spent, feeling family-ish. Yeah. Said it's feeling family-ish. I don't know what it is, it's feeling family. Go to work every day, doing right by his kids. So every moment we spent is feeling family-ish. But here's a vibe for your cookout, bitch. Well, I guess it kinda depends where the cookout is, yeah. I know it's people won't be fucking with this. Damn, girl, you got the nerve, I can already hear. Well, yeah, please, before you judge me, just look underneath the surface. I promise it's worth it, yeah. And know my feet be wherever the earth is. I ain't nothing but human, I'm just speaking my herd up here. Oh yeah, this shit's unusual. It's hard to cut you off when I gotta see you every other weekend. We equal, and I know you deserving to see you, baby girl, but goddamn, I swear. Go to work every day, doing right by his kids. So every moment we spent is feeling family-ish. Go to work every day, doing right by his kids. So every moment we spent is feeling family-ish. Yeah. Said it's feeling family-ish. I don't know what it is, it's feeling family. Go to work every day, doing right by his kids. So every moment we spent is feeling family-ish. Well, yeah, pleased to meet ya. I gotta make myself forget the past and forget the shit you said. Cause God forbid I take it out on our kid. And you know it's cold as it is already out here. She don't need nothing to fear. She don't need nothing but warmth. She don't need nothing but love. I'm never meaning no harm. But if I'm letting her hurt, think I'm feeling no wrong. And you know that we won. Yeah, you know that we won. I go to work every day, doing right by his kids. So every moment we spend is feeling family-ish. Go to work every day, doing right by his kids. So every moment we spend is feeling family-ish. Yeah, said it's feeling family-ish. I don't know what it is, it's feeling family. Go to work every day, doing right by his kids. So every moment we spend is feeling family-ish.
Hello, everybody. This is your boy Ken, aka Mr. Gentleman. Now, I am the host of Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast, and this commercial break is brought to you by Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast presents Spin-off Series Thursdays. And Spin-off Series Thursday is the new home for Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast Spin-off Series. That brought to you shows like A Conversation About Music Podcast, The Old School Show, and Date Night Talk Podcast. And A Conversation About Music Podcast is a music spin-off series where we talk about anything music, from the current music scene and the old school music scene, where we interview many guests that's in the music industry and artists about their music journey. We have a segment game called The Face Off, which is a versus inspired game. And we have roundtable discussion about variety of music topics. And y'all can check out A Conversation About Music Podcast every first Thursday at 12 a.m. Every first Thursday at 12 a.m. Now, the Old School Show that featured myself and the star Roddy Rod is a show where we discuss anything old school, from music, TV shows, movies, and many more. We also bring in guests to join in on the old school conversation. Y'all can check out the Old School Show with myself and the star Roddy Rod every fourth Thursday at 12 a.m. Every fourth Thursday at 12 a.m. And last but not least, we have Date Night Talk Podcast with myself and Miss Vanna B, where we talk about anything relationship related topics like love, dating, relationships, cheating, the good and the bad, and many more. And y'all can check out this spin-off series, Date Night Talk Podcast, every second and third Thursday at 12 p.m. So look out for Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast presents Spin-off Series Thursday, A Conversation About Music Podcast every first Thursday. The Old School Show with myself and the star Roddy Rod every fourth Thursdays, and Date Night Talk Podcast with myself and Miss Vanna B every second and third Thursdays. And y'all can check out Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast every Sundays for the main series and every Thursday for spin-off series Thursdays. And thank y'all for checking out this commercial break. And now back to your regularly scheduled program. True! I just want to take the time to thank everybody for tuning in to the latest episode of Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast. Thank you to my special guest, Octavia the Great, for coming on the show. Thank you for sharing your album, Still Collecting Data. Thank you for sharing your music. Thank you for sharing your story. Thank you for the amazing conversation. And thank you for coming on with the Gentleman Like That podcast. And stay for the end of the show to check out the second song that we were playing for her, No Bra. To stay to the end of the show. And thank you once again for coming on the show, Octavia the Great. I can't wait to bring you back for a future episode of Mr. Gentleman Like That podcast. You can check out Mr. Gentleman Like That podcast every Sundays for the main series, and every Thursday for spin-off series Thursday, where we have shows like A Conversation About Music podcast every first Thursday at 12 p.m., Date Night Talk podcast with myself and Miss Vanna B every second Thursday at 12 p.m., the Top 20 Countdown Show, the series with myself and Jalen every third Thursday at 12 p.m., and the Old School Show with myself and the Star Rider Rod every fourth Thursday at 12 p.m. Look out for our newest spin-off series Thursday show, Date Night Talk Stories, coming soon. You can check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Good Pods, and many more. Y'all can rate the show 5-star rating on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Good Pods, and Podchases. The more y'all rate the show, more people know about with the Gentleman Like That podcast. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Ken, a.k.a. with the Gentleman Like That podcast. Ken, a.k.a. with the Gentleman Like That podcast, where you can check out the audio version of Mr. Gentleman Like That podcast. You can check out the original version of Mr. Gentleman Like That podcast called Mr. Gentleman Like That podcast TV. And check out Mr. Gentleman Fact Quote of the Day on YouTube and all social media platforms every Monday. And subscribe to the YouTube channel at Ken, a.k.a. Mr. Gentleman Like That podcast. If you want to meet guests on Mr. Gentleman Like That podcast, send me a bio about yourself and everything that you do to my email at Ken, a.k.a. Mr. Gentleman at gmail.com, or hit me up on social media at Ken_Mr. Gentleman. I repeat, Ken, Ken_Mr. MR Gentleman, GENTLEMAN. And we set something up. I am still looking for a guest for season 10 of Mr. Gentleman Like That podcast. You can also check me out on the Premier Boys podcast with myself, Aaron Kitoxan, Star Rider Rod, and Long Live the Chief by the Mel. New episodes of the Premier Boy podcast coming real soon. A part of the Premier Power Network. Other show you can check out on the Premier Power Network, King Talk with Aaron Sands, hosted by Aaron King Talk Sands. You can listen to all episodes right now. Look out for the newest show, After Hours with Aaron Sands, coming soon. Check out all episodes of Star Time Podcast hosted by the Star Rider Rod. Look out for new episode of Welcome to the Trilogy, hosted by Long Live the Chief Madam Mal. Listen and support every show in the Premier Power Network. And at this time, it's time for our favorite segment, and time for the Gentleman Like the shout out, where we shout out 4 to 5 shows and we give them flowers. Yesterday episode, we shout out 5 shows: Told Through Talkback, Visit Vegas Places, Chronicles of a Virgo, The Things About Us, and the Red Bill Pocket. Check out those 5 shows that I mentioned on yesterday's episode of Mr. Gentleman Like That podcast. Today we got 5 new shows, 5 of my favorite music shows that I heard, and I want y'all to check it out as well. The first show that we're gonna talk about is My Weekly Mixtape, hosted by Brian Carburn, and My Weekly Mixtape is a music podcast features crucial playlists, artist interviews, and story behind the song. And you know, one thing about Brian, I've always been a fan of Brian's show. When he started playing with Wars, I used to listen to that show, and then he made My Weekly Mixtape, which is a really good podcast show, which discuss, you pretty much create a playlist for different topics from rock, pop, R&B, hip hop, the end of the year, and many other music topics. And this is a really good show. And y'all know I'm a music fan, so shout out to Brian for killing it with the show. And check out My Weekly Mixtape right now. The next show we're gonna talk about is Lavender Listen Podcast, hosted by Ash Lavender. And this show pretty much discuss everything music related. And she discussed things that music that happened in the culture, our favorite albums, and many more. And this is a really good show. Always been a fan, allowed to listen, because she be killing it with her music information. And she always do a good job with the show. So check out Lavender Listen podcast. Shout out to her. She is a part of my podcast friends. So check out the show. Check out her show. It's really dope. The next show we're going to talk about is Reminiscent Court Music and Memory podcast, hosted by Dante. And this show unlocks memories and all about hitting moments within the melody in each episode. And this is a really good show. She was on Mr. Jim, like the podcast last season. And, this show pretty much discussed many different music topics, but it turned it into memories and stories. I like the way she described each song in every episode. And this is a really good because I like that she's a good storyteller. So check out Reminiscent Court podcast. This is a really good talk show, and check it out. And the next show we're going to talk about is the Candid Cara podcast, hosted by Cara. And this podcast is a soulful reflection, meet lyrical court. She is a music artist, and she talks about her music journey, and she interviewed other people that's in the music industry. And this is a really good show. Check out the Candid Cara podcast. And the last show we're going to talk about is In the Mix with Leah B, the music history podcast, hosted by Leah B. And on this show, she discussed different topics from different albums, different artists, different eras, and many more. She know her stuff when it comes to music as well, and she do a good deep dive when she do these episodes. So shout out to Leah for doing the In the Mix podcast, the redo show, and check out her show as well. And check out the 5 show that I mentioned on this week, Mr. Gentleman, like that shout out. My weekly mixtape, hosted by Brian Coburn. Labor Listen podcast, hosted by Ask Lab. Wellness and Course podcast, hosted by Dante. The Canon Cara podcast, hosted by Cara. And In the Mix with Leah B, the music history podcast, hosted by Leah B. And that is this week's Mr. Gentleman, like the shout outs. True! And of course, admin of Good Pods, Ken, Mr. Gentleman. Y'all already know Good Podcast, the mini independent podcast. You see what everybody looks at. We can rate each other's show. And we had the charts. And at the time, it's time for Mr. Gentleman, like the achievements, where we spotlight everything Mr. Gentleman, like the podcast is doing. Of course, we are on the Good Pod charts. Pretty much nothing didn't change. Just like yesterday's episode, we dropped from the Society and Culture chart, but we are still on the indie charts. We're number 16 on the indie charts. For a personal journal, we're number 13 on the normal charts. Number 2 on the indie charts. For dating, we are number 13 on the normal charts and number 1 on the indie charts. For news and interview, we're number 7 on the normal charts and number 1 on the indie charts. For self-improvement, we're number 34 on the normal charts, number 15 on the indie charts. Thank you everybody that continue to check out Mr. Gentleman, like the podcast on Good Pod, and let's get us back in the top 10 and get us back to number 1. So keep supporting Mr. Gentleman, like the podcast on Good Pod, and support Mr. Gentleman, like the podcast on all podcast platforms. It really means a lot. Once again, thank you. And of course, check out the official website of Mr. Gentleman, like the podcast, www.realmrgentlemanlikethepodcast.com, where you can check out every episode of Mr. Gentleman, like the podcast, or 274 episodes of Mr. Gentleman, like the podcast. You can check out every guest who's been on Mr. Gentleman, like the podcast, or 85 guests who've been on Mr. Gentleman, like the podcast. You can check out every guest appearance that I've been on. More guest appearance real soon. And of course, check out the official merch store of Mr. Gentleman, like the podcast, www.mrgentlemanlikethepodcaststore.dasher.com, where we have shirts, hoodies, mugs, masks, hats, and many more. Support the official merch store so we can upgrade your listening experiences. And once again, thank you everybody who've been buying some merch. It really means a lot. And support Mr. Gentleman, like the podcast, by buying merch and many other ways to support. Support Mr. Gentleman, like the podcast, and support the official merch store at www.mrgentlemanlikethepodcaststore.dasher.com, and support the official website at www.realmrgentlemanlikethepodcast.com. LikeThatPodcast.com. Thank you once again for checking out the latest episode of Mr. Gentleman, Like That Podcast. Thank you for checking out both episodes that dropped this weekend of Mr. Gentleman, Like That Podcast. Podcast 101 with Victoria J and Coral for the biggest podcast crossover. Check out Chelsea Talkback for part 1 and Visit Vacant Place for part 2. And of course, we got Helen Through Hip Hop features Octavia the Great. Check out both episodes of Mr. Gentleman, Like the Podcast that dropped this weekend. Really means a lot. Once again, thank you. Next Saturday, we have another 2 episodes of Mr. Gentleman, Like the Podcast. On Saturday, we will have the WrestleMania prediction episode with the All-Star Wrestling crew. And on Sunday, we have the Miss finale of Mr. Gentleman, Like the Podcast, called How I Really Became Mr. Gentleman. So look out for both episodes that drop in this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. And thank you, everybody, that check out Mr. Gentleman, Like that Podcast. It really means a lot. Have a good day or night, wherever you're listening to this episode.
Hey y'all, what's going on? This is Octavia the Great, and you are now listening to Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast.
Yo, all summer long I ain't wearing no bra. And all summer long I ain't wearing no drawers. Stomach all out and my weave all long. If you uptight, I don't think that we gon' get along. Jackpot, feel I hit the jackpot. I'm alive, look at me, I'm back outside. Hi, nice to meet you, I'm doing fine. I'm kind, but don't follow none of the guidelines. Tuned in, so I make my own trends. Don't bend, you the type wanna hang out with the cool kids. That's cool, you can be up next, but my time been here, I don't mean to sound foolish. The clout ain't in the numbers, when doubt ain't in the picture. It's limitless what you do, it's limitless what you do. When I took all my delusion, created something so beautiful. I set my nipples free. Let my stomach breathe. Kept my mind at ease. Don't care what they think. I don't care what gotta set your nipples free. Just let your stomach breathe. Let it all hang out. Let it all hang out. Keep your mind at ease. Don't care what they think. I don't care what they think. They like, that's cool and everything, but what you gonna do when the people start judging? We cross that bridge when we make it. But right now I'm gonna dance while I'm faded. And right now I'm gonna dance like I'm naked. And right now I'm gonna clap like I made it. And right now I'm gonna love if they hate it. That 2 up and 2 down is my native. If I stomp the ground I could make craters. When they talk about make me more greater, I can't talk right now, catch up y'all later. They can't catch up now, packed with more flavor. Couldn't resist. You can tell that I'm seasoned just by the flick of my wrist. Like an elegant eagle, I just come get what I need. Then I'm back in the clouds while I'm enjoying my feast. It's like free. Let my stomach breathe. Kept my mind at ease. Don't care what they think. I don't care what gotta set your nipples free. Just let your stomach breathe. Let it all hang out. Let it all hang out. Keep your mind at ease. Don't care what they think. I don't care what they think. I don't care what they think.
Let my stomach breathe. Kept my mind at ease.